Maya Carter stood quietly beside the dinner table while her father laughed. "So that is what you are doing now?" Richard asked. Maya looked at him. "Yes." Her mother shook her head. "A security guard?" Maya nodded. Richard laughed again. "I thought you were going to do something with your life." The room became quiet. Maya's younger brother, Daniel, looked down at his plate. He was trying not to smile. Maya noticed. She always noticed. Her parents had never liked her job. They believed it was temporary. Something she would do until she found a real career. But Maya had been doing it for 6 years. And she had no plans to stop. "I like my work," she said calmly. Her father leaned back. "Of course you do." His voice was full of doubt. "People always say that when they know they are stuck." Maya said nothing. She had learned a long time ago that arguing with Richard never changed anything. He had already made up his mind about her. To him, Daniel was the successful son. Maya was the daughter who had failed to become what he expected. Daniel worked in a large office. He wore expensive suits. He had recently been promoted. Their father talked about him constantly. "He is going places," Richard often said. Maya had stopped asking where he thought she was going. That evening was supposed to be a simple family dinner. Instead, it became another lesson about Maya's life. Her mother placed a plate on the table. "You know, Maya, your cousin just became a manager." Maya nodded. "That is good for her." Susan sighed. "You could do something like that." "I could. But you don't." "No." Her father smiled. "There is the problem." Daniel finally laughed. Maya looked at him. He quickly looked away. He did not get angry. She simply continued eating. Her phone vibrated inside her jacket. Once. Then again. She ignored it. A few seconds later it vibrated a third time. Richard noticed. "Work." "Yes." "Another building to watch?" Maya looked at him. "Yes." He laughed. Daniel laughed too. Maya placed her fork down. She wanted to tell them. She wanted to explain everything. But she couldn't. Her work came with rules. Strict rules. She could not tell people who her clients were. She could not discuss locations. She could not explain every operation. And she could not share details about the people she protected. Most of her family would never understand that. So Maya had chosen the simplest answer. She was a security guard. It was not exactly a lie. It was just not the whole truth. Her father continued. "You are 36 years old, Maya." "I know." "When are you going to settle down?" "I am settled." Richard shook his head. "You stand outside buildings for a living." Maya looked at him. "That is not all I do." Her mother raised an eyebrow. "Then what do you do?" Maya paused. For 1 second she almost told them. Then her phone vibrated again. This time she checked it. Her expression changed. It was a message from her supervisor. "Client arrived. Security level has changed. Report immediately. Asterisk asterisk." Maya stood. "I have to go." Richard laughed. "Of course you do." Maya grabbed her jacket. Her mother looked disappointed. "You are leaving dinner for a security job?" Maya nodded. "Yes." Richard shook his head. "Unbelievable." Maya walked toward the door. Then she stopped. She turned around. For a moment she looked at her family. Her father. Her mother. Her brother. She wanted them to know. Not because she wanted praise. Because she was tired of being treated like a failure. But she knew what could happen if she said too much. So she simply said, "Good night." Then she left. Outside, Maya walked quickly to her car. The moment the door closed, she checked her phone. There were 6 new messages. She read the first. "The client is already inside." Second. "Possible threat identified." The third. "Team is waiting for your instructions." Maya's face became serious. She started the engine. Her family thought she had left to watch a building. They had no idea she was heading to a private security facility where 12 trained officers were waiting for her. Maya arrived 20 minutes later. A black SUV was parked outside. 2 officers stood near the entrance. They immediately moved toward her. "Ma'am." Maya nodded. "Status." Unknown person entered through the east gate. "Camera footage?" "Being checked." "Client?" "Safe." Maya walked inside. The atmosphere was completely different from the family dinner. Nobody laughed at her. Nobody called her a failure. Everyone listened. Maya entered a small control room. Several screens showed different areas around the property. He studied them. "Lock the east gate." An officer immediately moved. "Send 2 people to the parking area." Another officer nodded. Keep the client inside. Yes, ma'am. Maya looked at the main screen. Something did not look right. Stop. Everyone froze. She pointed at the screen. Go back 30 seconds. The video played backward. Maya watched carefully. Then she saw it. A black vehicle had passed the gate twice. The first time nobody noticed. The second time Maya noticed something else. The driver was watching the building. She turned toward her team. Get the plate number. An officer moved immediately. Maya checked another camera. The vehicle appeared again. Then it disappeared. Where did it go? North Road. Maya thought for a moment. Send someone there. Yes, ma'am. She took a slow breath. Her job was not standing at a door. It was watching for things other people missed. It was making decisions when everyone else was waiting. It was protecting people who often never knew there had been danger. And Maya had become very good at it. Hours later, the situation was under control. The vehicle was gone. The client was safe. Maya finally sat down. She looked at her phone. There was one message from her mother. Your father is still upset that you left dinner. Maya stared at it. Then another message arrived. This one was from Daniel. Dad says you need to grow up. Maya smiled sadly. He typed a reply. Then deleted it. There was no point. They did not want an explanation. They wanted her to become someone else. Maya put the phone away. She looked through the glass toward the officers outside. One of them knocked on the door. Everything is secure. Maya nodded. Good work. He smiled. Good work, Director. Maya paused. The title still sounded strange when other people used it. She had worked hard for it. Years of training. Years of dangerous assignments. Years of protecting people who could never know her name. But at home she was still just the daughter with the embarrassing security job. Maya stood and walked outside. Her supervisor was waiting. You handled tonight well. Thank you. He handed her a tablet. There is something else. Maya looked at the screen. A new assignment had appeared. It was much larger than anything she had handled recently. She looked at her supervisor. What is this? Your next protection detail. Who is the client? He hesitated. Then he gave her a name. Maya's eyes widened. It was someone whose name appeared on television almost every week. A person with enemies in several countries. This is serious, Maya said. Yes. How much time? 3 days. Maya nodded. I'll be ready. Her supervisor walked away. Maya looked at the city lights. Then her phone vibrated again. This time it was a message from Daniel. He had sent a short video. It showed their father laughing about Maya's job. Daniel had recorded the dinner without telling her. The message underneath it said, maybe this will finally make you see how ridiculous your job looks. Maya watched the video once. Then again. She did not get angry. She simply locked her phone. But something had changed. Daniel had accidentally recorded more than a family joke. In the corner of the video, barely visible behind Maya, was her phone. The screen showed a message from her supervisor. And for less than 10 seconds, the name of the person Maya was protecting appeared clearly. Daniel had not noticed it. Her parents had not noticed it. But someone else might. Maya stared at the phone. Her calm expression disappeared. She immediately called her supervisor. He answered. What happened? Maya spoke quietly. The video. What about it? It shows the client's name. There was silence. Then her supervisor's voice became serious. Delete it. I don't have the original. Then find out who has it. Maya looked toward the dark city. For 6 years her family had believed she was just a security guard. Now, without realizing it, they might have exposed the one secret she had spent years protecting. And the video was already spreading. By the next morning, the video had already been shared more than 200 times. Daniel had not expected that. He had posted it late at night with a simple caption. When your sister thinks being a security guard is a career. At first, the comments were mostly from family members and friends. Some laughed. Some added jokes. Then strangers began watching. And the video started moving beyond the family. Maya knew nothing about it. She was already at work. She stood inside a private building in downtown Chicago, listening to her supervisor explain the day's schedule. 3 meetings, he said. 2 public appearances. No changes unless you approve them. Maya nodded. Understood. Her team stood behind her. They were not ordinary guards. They were trained professionals. Some had worked with Maya for years. Every person in the room knew her position. They also knew that she never raised her voice unless there was a reason. Any new threats? Maya asked. Nothing confirmed. Keep watching. Yes, ma'am. Maya checked her watch. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it. It was her mother. She did not answer. A second message appeared. Call me when you have time. Then another. We need to talk about Daniel's video. Maya stopped walking. Her stomach tightened. She opened the family group chat. There was the video. He watched it without sound. Her father was laughing. Daniel was laughing. Her mother was shaking her head. And Maya was sitting quietly at the table. Then she saw the corner of her phone. The screen was visible for less than 10 seconds. Maya immediately remembered the message. The client's name. Her heart sank. He called Daniel. He answered after several rings. What? Where did you post the video? Online. Who can see it? Everyone, I guess. Daniel, take it down. He laughed. Why? Just take it down. You're being dramatic. I am serious. So am I. Daniel's voice became colder. You know what, Maya? Maybe this is good for you. What do you mean? Maybe people should see how you live. Maya closed her eyes. Daniel, this is not about my job. Everything is about your job. He laughed again. You always act like you're doing something important. Maya lowered her voice. Take the video down. No. The call ended. Maya stood completely still. Her supervisor walked toward her. Problem. She handed him the phone. He watched the video. His expression changed. How long has this been online? I don't know. He checked the post. Long enough. Maya looked at the screen. The view count was climbing. Then something caught her attention. A comment had been posted only a few minutes earlier. That woman in the background is Maya Carter. Another comment appeared. Wait. Is she the same Maya Carter who runs executive protection? Maya stared at the screen. Her supervisor looked at her. Who knows you? Not many people. Then we need to find out who is spreading this. Maya nodded. She had spent years keeping her personal life separate from her work. Her family had just mixed the two together. And they did not even understand what they had done. That evening, Maya drove to her parents' house. She found her father sitting in the living room. He was smiling. You saw the video? Yes. It's getting popular. Maya looked at him. You think that's funny? Richard shrugged. People are finally seeing the truth. What truth? That you are wasting your life. Maya stared at him. Her mother walked into the room. Maya, your father is only trying to help. By embarrassing me? No one is embarrassed. Maya looked at the television. Her face was not on it. But her father had left the video playing on his phone. The comments kept appearing. Some were cruel. Some were jokes. Some were strangers telling Maya she needed to get a real job. She looked back at her father. You posted this? No. Daniel did. And you allowed it. Richard frowned. You're acting like this is some great crime. Maya took a slow breath. You don't understand. Then explain it. Maya almost did. She almost told him everything. The clients. The assignments. The teams. The threats. The responsibility. But she remembered her contract. She could not discuss those things. So she said only, my job is more serious than you think. Richard laughed. There it is again. What? You always talk like you have some secret life. Maya said nothing. Richard stood. You are a security guard, Maya. His voice was louder now. You walk around checking doors and watching parking lots. That is not what I do. Then what do you do? Maya looked at him. I protect people. Her father laughed. So does every security guard. Her mother shook her head. You should be more like Daniel. Maya turned toward her. Daniel. He has a career. Maya gave a small, tired smile. So do I. No, Richard said. You have a job. That sentence hurt more than Maya expected. She had heard similar words many times. But this time she felt something inside her change. He stopped trying to convince them. He picked up her bag. I have to go. Richard laughed. Of course. Maya walked toward the door. Behind her, Daniel called out. Hey, Maya. She turned. He was holding his phone. Look. He showed her the video. The view count had passed 50,000. Maya stared at the screen. Daniel smiled. Congratulations. She said nothing. Then she noticed something. The comments were changing. They were no longer making jokes about her job. People were asking questions. Who is she protecting? Why does she have a professional protection team? That isn't normal security work. And then one comment appeared that made Maya's blood run cold. I know that client. Maya leaned closer. The account had no profile picture. The comment had been posted only seconds earlier. Another message followed. You people have no idea who this woman really works for. Maya looked at Daniel. Who is that? He shrugged. Some random person. Maya reached for the phone. Daniel pulled it away. Relax. Give me the phone. Why? Now. Her voice was calm. But something in her expression made Daniel stop smiling. He handed it over. Maya looked at the account. The person had posted another comment. The building in the video isn't a family home. It's one of her clients' locations. Maya's face went pale. She looked at the timestamp. The person had posted the comment less than 1 minute ago. Then another comment appeared. Tell Maya Carter she should check the east entrance. Maya froze. That was not public information. Only her team knew about the east entrance. Her father noticed the change in her face. What is it? Maya handed the phone back. Nothing. But she knew it was not nothing. She walked outside. The moment she reached her car, she called her supervisor. He answered immediately. Talk to me. Someone online knows details about the client. What details? The east entrance. There was silence. Then he said, Are you still at your parents' house? Yes. Stay there. Maya looked toward the street. A dark SUV was parked across from the house. She had not noticed it before. Why? Because we may have a problem. Maya watched the SUV. Its engine was running. The windows were dark. Then the vehicle slowly moved forward. It passed her house. Maya followed it with her eyes. The SUV stopped at the corner. For a few seconds nothing happened. Then the driver's window lowered. Maya could not see the driver's face. But she saw the phone in his hand. He was recording her. Maya immediately stepped back toward the house. Her supervisor spoke through the phone. Maya. She answered quietly. Someone is watching my parents' house. Her supervisor's voice became firm. Do not approach the vehicle. Maya watched it turn the corner and disappear. She looked down at her phone. The viral video was still spreading. The number had passed 100,000 views. Then a new notification appeared. Someone had downloaded the video. Maya stared at the screen. Her family had wanted the world to laugh at her. Instead, they had accidentally exposed a woman whose real job depended on staying invisible. And now someone dangerous knew exactly where she lived. Maya looked back at her parents' house. For the first time that night, she was not worried about being humiliated. She was worried about keeping them alive. And somewhere online, the person watching her had just learned something even more dangerous. Maya Carter was no longer hiding. Maya did not sleep that night. She sat in her car outside her parents' house and watched the dark street. The black SUV was gone. But she knew what that meant. Someone had seen the video. Someone had noticed details that were never meant to be public. Her supervisor had sent 2 officers to watch the house from a distance. Maya did not tell her parents. Not yet. They were already frightened. Her father kept asking what was happening. Maya gave him the same answer. Everything is under control. But she knew it was not. At 5:40 the next morning, her phone rang. It was her supervisor. We found the account. Maya sat up. Who is it? We don't know yet. What do we know? The account was created 2 days ago. It has almost no history. Maya frowned. Then how did they know about the east entrance? That is what we're trying to find out. Maya looked through the windshield. Her parents' house was still quiet. Keep someone here. We already have 2 people nearby. Good. And Maya? Yes. Do not post anything. Do not respond to the video. And stay away from public events until we understand the situation. Maya nodded. Understood. She ended the call. Then she looked at the viral video again. 10 seconds. That was all it took. 10 seconds had changed everything. The video had been recorded at dinner. Daniel had pointed the phone toward Maya while their father mocked her. Maya had not even noticed the camera. But between seconds 6 and 16, her phone screen appeared in the corner. The client's name was visible. Only for a moment. Most people would never notice it. But someone had. And that someone seemed to know what the name meant. Maya replayed the video. He watched it again. Then again. Something bothered her. It was not the phone. It was the reflection behind it. She zoomed in. A glass cabinet stood behind her. In the reflection, another phone was visible. Someone else had been recording. Maya stopped the video. Her heart began beating faster. Daniel had not been the only person filming. She called her supervisor. There was another camera. What? In the reflection. Send it to me. Maya forwarded the clip. A few minutes later her supervisor called back. You're right. Who was holding it? We are checking. Maya stood. Could it have been a guest? Possibly. But why would they post the comment about the east entrance? That is the problem. Maya looked toward the house. Her parents were waking up. She walked inside. Her mother was standing in the kitchen. You look terrible. I didn't sleep. Susan looked worried. Is this because of that stupid video? Maya nodded. Her father entered the room. It's still online? Yes. Good. Maya looked at him. Richard seemed surprised by her expression. What? You still don't understand. Understand what? That the video could put people in danger. Richard shook his head. You are being dramatic. Maya took a breath. I am not. Daniel came into the room. He was holding his phone. I got another message. Maya immediately turned toward him. From who? I don't know. Show her, Richard said. Daniel handed Maya the phone. There was a message from the same unknown account. The 10 seconds tell more than your family knows. Maya stared at it. Then another message appeared. Ask your father about the old warehouse. Maya looked at Richard. Her father went completely still. What warehouse? Maya asked. Richard said nothing. Dad. He looked away. Susan's face changed too. Maya noticed. What is going on? Richard finally spoke. It has nothing to do with you. Maya stepped closer. Someone is watching this house. They know my work. Now they know about a warehouse you apparently never told me about. Richard became angry. You don't need to know everything. Maya stared at him. For years he had told her that she was too secretive. Now he was doing the same thing. What warehouse? Zeit. An old business property. What business? It belonged to your grandfather. Maya's expression changed. Her grandfather had died 8 years earlier. Nobody had mentioned any warehouse. Why would someone ask about it? I don't know. Dad. I said I don't know. Maya did not believe him. Before she could ask another question, her phone rang. It was her supervisor. Maya, we found the second recording. Who took it? One of the guests. Who? Her supervisor paused. A family friend named Victor Hale. Maya knew the name. Victor had known her family for years. He had been at the dinner. He had also been one of the people laughing at her job. Where is he? He left town early this morning. Maya's stomach tightened. Where? We are tracking him. Her supervisor continued. There is something else. What? The 10-second clip was edited before it was posted. Maya frowned. Edited? Yes. The original video showed your phone for only 3 seconds. Maya looked at Daniel's phone. But the online version shows it for almost 10. Maya understood. Someone had slowed down that section. Someone had deliberately made the client's name easier to read. Someone wanted people to notice it. This wasn't an accident, Maya said. No. Her supervisor's voice became quiet. Someone wanted that information exposed. Maya looked at her family. Her father was standing near the kitchen window. He looked nervous. Too nervous. Maya noticed something else. His hand was shaking. She walked toward him. Dad. Richard turned. What? Did you know about the video? No. Did you know someone was going to post it? No. Did you know the client's name was visible? No. Maya studied his face. Then she asked the question she had been avoiding. What is in the warehouse? Richard said nothing. Maya waited. Finally he whispered. Documents. What documents? Your grandfather's business records. That doesn't explain anything. Richard looked at Susan. She lowered her eyes. Maya felt a cold feeling in her chest. Her family was hiding something. And now someone dangerous was asking about the same thing. She stepped outside. Her supervisor called again. Maya, we found Victor. Where? He's at the old warehouse. Maya froze. She looked back at her father. Who else knows about that place? Richard did not answer. Maya's voice became firmer. Dad, who else knows? Her father finally looked at her. Then he said something that made her blood run cold. Your grandfather's lawyer. Maya's phone buzzed. A new message had arrived. No username this time. Just a picture. It showed the old warehouse. And someone was standing outside the door. Under the picture were 6 words. Now you know where to look. Maya stared at the screen. The mystery had suddenly become much bigger than a family video. Someone had planned this. Someone knew about her career. Someone knew about her family. And someone wanted her to go to that warehouse. Maya called her supervisor. Do not let anyone enter that building. We already have a team moving. Maya looked at her father. He seemed terrified. Then she noticed something on his wrist. A small metal key. Maya had seen that key before. It was old. And shaped differently from a normal house key. He pointed at it. Dad. Richard looked down. What? Where did you get that? He quickly covered it with his sleeve. It's nothing. Maya's voice dropped. That key belongs to the warehouse, doesn't it? Richard said nothing. Maya understood. The 10 seconds in the video had not exposed who Maya really was. They had exposed something else. Something her own family had been hiding. And now, for the first time, Maya wondered if her parents' humiliation of her had never been the real story at all. Maybe the people laughing at her had been hiding their own secret. And someone had just found a way to force it into the open. Maya stood outside her parents' house with her phone in her hand. The picture of the old warehouse was still on the screen. Someone wanted her to go there. Her father had the key. And Victor Hale had already disappeared. Too many things were connected. Maya looked at Richard. Dad, what is inside that warehouse? Richard said nothing. Who has been using it? Still nothing. Her mother finally spoke. Your father didn't do anything wrong. Maya turned toward her. That isn't what she asked. Susan looked down. Maya felt a heavy silence settle over the room. For years her parents had accused her of hiding things. Now they were the ones keeping secrets. Her phone rang. It was her supervisor. Maya, the team is at the warehouse. Victor. Gone. Anything inside? We found boxes. Old files. Nothing dangerous so far. Maya looked at her father. Can the team search the office? They already are. Good. Her supervisor paused. There is something you should know. What? One of the boxes has your grandfather's name on it. Maya's eyes narrowed. Why would Victor want those files? We don't know yet. Keep the team there. I will. Maya ended the call. Her father finally sat down. He looked tired. Older than he had looked the night before. Maya sat across from him. Tell her the truth, Susan whispered. Richard looked at his wife. Then at Maya. He took a slow breath. Your grandfather had a company. I know. No. You don't. Maya waited. It was not just a small business, Richard said. He handled private contracts. What kind? Security. Maya's expression changed. Her grandfather had been a businessman. That was what she had always been told. Nothing more. Richard continued. He worked with government contractors, private companies, important people. Maya looked at her mother. Why was I never told? Because your grandfather wanted you away from it, Susan said. Richard nodded. He wanted his family safe. Maya thought about her own career. Her years of training. The way she had always felt drawn to protection work. She suddenly wondered if her grandfather had known more about her than she realized. What happened to the company? Richard looked down. It failed. Why? Money problems. That doesn't sound like the whole story. Richard remained silent. Maya leaned forward. What happened? Finally he answered. Someone stole from him. Who? We never found out. Maya felt a strange chill. Was it someone inside the company? Richard nodded. Someone he trusted. Maya looked toward the window. The same question had been following her all morning. Why was someone suddenly looking for those old records? Her phone buzzed. Her supervisor had sent a picture. It showed a metal box found inside the warehouse. Maya zoomed in. There was a handwritten label on it. Carter family, private. Below it was a date. The year before her grandfather died. Maya stared at the picture. Dad. Richard looked up. Did Grandpa leave anything for Maya? Her father froze. Maya immediately noticed. What? Richard stood. Nothing. Dad. Nothing important. You're lying. Richard's face hardened. You don't understand. Then explain it. He looked toward the door. For the first time Maya saw fear in his eyes. Not embarrassment. Not anger. Fear. Her mother began crying quietly. Maya turned toward her. Mom. Susan wiped her face. Your grandfather left a letter. Maya went completely still. What letter? Susan looked at Richard. He closed his eyes. The letter was supposed to be given to you when you turned 35. Maya's voice became quiet. I am 36. I know. Where is it? Richard walked toward a cabinet. He opened a drawer. Inside was a small brown envelope. He placed it on the table. Maya stared at it. Her name was written across the front. Maya. Her grandfather's handwriting. She had not seen it in years. Her hands shook as she picked it up. Why didn't you give me this? Richard could not answer. Maya opened the envelope. Inside was one sheet of paper. The message was short. Maya, if you are reading this, then something has gone wrong. She stopped. Her heart began beating faster. She continued. Your father will tell you that the company failed because of money. That is not the truth. Asterisk asterisk. Maya looked at Richard. He looked away. He kept reading. Someone inside the company betrayed me. He took information about my clients and sold it. Asterisk asterisk. Maya's eyes moved down the page. I never found out who it was. But I discovered one thing before I died. Asterisk asterisk. She stopped again. Her mother covered her mouth. Maya read the next line. The person who betrayed me was not working alone. The room became silent. Then she reached the final paragraph. If the records are ever discovered, do not trust anyone who suddenly wants them. Maya lowered the letter. That's it. Richard nodded. There was another page. Maya looked at him. Where? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It disappeared years ago. Maya stood. Who had it? Richard said nothing. Dad. He looked at her. Victor. Maya felt the pieces move into place. Victor had known the family for years. Victor had been at dinner. Victor had recorded the second video. Victor had disappeared. And now he was connected to the warehouse. Maya called her supervisor. We need to find Victor. We're working on it. He may have the missing page. There was a pause. That changes things. Yes. We are checking his travel records. Maya ended the call. Her father looked at her. You should stay out of this. Maya stared at him. You've been telling me that my entire life. Because I wanted you safe. No. Maya's voice remained calm. You wanted me away from the truth. Richard looked down. Maya felt something break inside her. Not anger. Something worse. Trust. She had spent years believing her father was disappointed because she had chosen a different career. Now she understood. He had always known her career was dangerous. Maybe that was why he had mocked it. Maybe he had been trying to push her away from it. But he had done it in the worst possible way. By making her feel worthless. Her mother walked toward her. Maya, your father was afraid. Afraid of what? Susan hesitated. Afraid that the same people who hurt your grandfather would come back. Maya looked at the letter. And now they have. No one answered. Her phone suddenly rang. It was her supervisor. Maya answered. Hello. His voice was serious. We found Victor. Where? An airport. Did you stop him? No. Maya frowned. Why not? Because he wasn't leaving the country. Then where was he going? Her supervisor paused. He booked a flight under another name. Maya waited. He was traveling to meet someone. Who? We're still checking. Then her supervisor said something that made Maya's stomach drop. We found the name on his reservation. Maya's grip tightened around the phone. What name? It was your father's. Maya slowly looked across the room at Richard. Her father had gone pale. Maya said nothing. Her supervisor continued. Maya, there's more. What? The person Victor was supposed to meet is already inside the airport. Maya's voice became quiet. Who? A long pause followed. Then her supervisor gave her the name. Maya's eyes widened. It was someone she knew. Someone who had been close to her family for years. Someone who had laughed at her during the dinner. Someone who had called her a useless security guard. Maya lowered the phone. Her father stared at her. What happened? Maya looked at him. Who else was at the dinner that night? Richard frowned. Why? Because the person behind this was sitting at our table. The room went silent. Maya's phone buzzed again. A new message had arrived. It contained a photograph. The photograph showed the dinner table. Everyone was visible. But one person had been circled in red. Maya stared at the face. Then she understood. The person had not been laughing at her because he thought her job was a joke. He had been watching her. studying her, waiting for her to reveal something. And the video had finally given him exactly what he wanted. Maya looked toward the door. Her voice was almost a whisper. He wasn't trying to expose me. She looked at her parents. He was trying to find out what Maya Carter was protecting. And suddenly, the family humiliation no longer looked like a cruel joke. It looked like part of a much bigger plan. Maya stared at the photograph on her phone. One face had been circled in red. Victor Hale. But Victor was not the only person in the picture. Everyone from the dinner was there. Her parents, Daniel, 2 family friends, and one man Maya had known since childhood, James Walker. James had been her father's closest friend for more than 20 years. He had laughed the loudest when Richard mocked Maya's job. He had even told her that being a security guard was nothing to be proud of. Now Maya knew why he had been watching her so closely. Her supervisor's voice came through the phone. "Are you still there?" "Yes." "Do not confront him." Maya looked at the photograph. "Where is he?" "At the airport. With Victor." "We believe so." Maya's eyes narrowed. "What are they planning?" "We don't know yet." Then her supervisor added something that made her stomach tighten. "There's a chance they know about your parents." Maya looked toward Richard and Susan. Her father had heard enough to understand. "Are we in danger?" he asked. Maya did not answer immediately. She looked at her mother. Susan was pale. Daniel stood frozen near the kitchen. For the first time in years, nobody was laughing. Nobody was calling Maya a failure. They were all looking at her. Waiting. Depending on her. Maya finally spoke. "Everyone stays inside." Richard nodded. "Should we call the police?" "Already done." Daniel stepped forward. "What can we do?" Maya looked at him. "Nothing." He looked hurt. "I want to help." "You can help by staying where you are." Daniel nodded. The same brother who had laughed at her the night before was now listening to every word she said. Maya noticed the change. He did not enjoy it. She wished they had listened before. 20 minutes later, 2 black vehicles stopped outside the house. 4 members of Maya's security team stepped out. They moved quickly. They checked the street, the doors, the windows, the backyard. Maya watched from inside. Her father stood beside her. "They really listened to you," he whispered. Maya looked at him. "They are professionals." Richard swallowed. "You are in charge of them." "Yes." He looked down. For years he had called her a guard. Now he was watching 4 trained professionals wait for her instructions. Maya walked toward the front door. One officer approached. "All clear." "Good. Your parents should stay away from the windows." Maya nodded. Then she turned to her father. "Do exactly what he says." Richard nodded. There was no argument. No lecture. No insult. Just obedience. Maya's phone rang. Her supervisor again. "We found Victor." "Where?" "He left the airport." "With James." "Yes." "Where are they going?" "Back toward the city." Maya frowned. "Why?" "We don't know." Then another officer spoke from across the room. "Maya." She turned. He held up a phone. "We found something." Maya walked over. The officer showed her a security image. It was a picture from the old warehouse. Victor was standing outside. James was beside him. But there was someone else. A third man. Maya recognized him. She had seen him before. He had been near her grandfather's business years ago. Her father's face appeared in her mind. The missing page. The stolen information. The old company. The betrayal. Everything was connected. "Who is that?" Daniel asked. Maya looked at him. "Someone from my grandfather's past." Daniel stared at the image. "What does he want?" Maya did not know. But she had a strong feeling. The answer was inside the warehouse. An hour later the police arrived. Maya's supervisor gave them the information they had gathered. The officers searched the warehouse again. This time they found something hidden beneath the floor. A metal box. Inside were old files, contracts, bank records, names, dates, and photographs. Maya's grandfather had kept records of everything, including payments made to people who were supposed to be working for him. One name appeared again and again. James Walker. Richard stepped closer. He stared at the documents. His face turned white. "He worked for my father." Maya looked at him. "You knew." Richard shook his head. "Not this." Then he found another document. His hands began shaking. This payment was made 3 months before your grandfather died. Maya took the paper. The amount was enormous. Who received it? Richard looked at the name. Then he closed his eyes. James. Maya understood. James had not simply known about the old company. He had been involved. And he had been close to the family ever since. Maybe he had stayed close for one reason. To make sure nobody found the truth. That evening, Maya's parents sat silently in the living room. Daniel sat across from them. Nobody knew what to say. Finally, Richard looked at Maya. I was wrong. Maya looked at him. About what? About everything. She said nothing. He continued. I thought you were wasting your life. Maya's expression remained calm. I thought you were throwing away your future. He looked down. But you were building something I couldn't see. Maya looked at her father. I tried to tell you. I know. No. You don't. Her voice was quiet. I didn't need you to know what my job was. Richard looked at her. I needed you to respect me. He could not answer. Susan began crying. Maya looked away. The apology came too late to erase years of pain. But she could hear the regret in their voices. That mattered. Then Daniel stood. He looked at Maya. I owe you an apology too. Maya said nothing. I posted the video. I know. I thought it was funny. I know. Daniel looked ashamed. I didn't know what you really did. Maya shook her head. That wasn't the problem. Daniel frowned. The problem was that you never asked. He lowered his eyes. Maya walked past him. The room became quiet again. Then her phone rang. Her supervisor. Maya answered. Victor and James have been arrested. Maya stopped. Both. Yes. What about the third man? We are still looking. Maya frowned. Why? He disappeared before the police arrived. Maya's expression changed. Where? We don't know. Her supervisor paused. But we found something in James's car. What? A folder. What's inside? Your grandfather's missing page. Maya closed her eyes. The missing page had finally been found. Read it. Her supervisor was silent for a moment. Then he spoke. It says your grandfather discovered who was stealing from him. Who? James wasn't the main person. Maya's eyes widened. Then who was? Her supervisor took a breath. The page names another person. Who? There was a long silence. Then he said, Richard Carter. Maya froze. Her father. The room suddenly felt smaller. She slowly turned toward him. Richard was already looking at her. His face was filled with fear. Maya lowered the phone. Why does Grandpa's letter name you? Richard said nothing. Daniel stood up. Mom. Susan covered her mouth. Maya stared at her father. You told me you knew nothing. Richard looked at the floor. I was trying to protect you. From what? He finally looked up. From the truth. Maya's voice became cold. What truth? Richard's eyes filled with tears. Before he could answer, Maya's phone buzzed. A new message appeared. It came from an unknown number. There was only one sentence. Ask your father what happened the night your grandfather died. Maya stared at the screen. The people who had laughed at her were now looking to her for protection. But suddenly Maya realized something even more frightening. Her family had not been hiding one secret. They had been hiding a whole story. And her father was standing at the center of it. Maya stared at her father. The room was silent. Her phone was still in her hand. The message remained on the screen. Ask your father what happened the night your grandfather died. Richard looked older than he had an hour ago. His shoulders were low. His eyes were tired. For the first time, Maya did not see the proud father who had spent years judging her. She saw a frightened man. What happened that night? Maya asked. Richard looked at Susan. She began to cry. Maya, she whispered, there are things your father never told you. Maya waited. Richard finally sat down. Your grandfather found out that James was stealing from him. Maya nodded. I know. No, Richard said. You don't know everything. He looked at his hands. Your grandfather planned to report him. Maya listened. James found out. He threatened your grandfather. And you? Richard closed his eyes. I tried to stop it. Maya's voice became quiet. What does that mean? I went to the warehouse that night. Her heart tightened. You were there. Yes. Why? To talk to your grandfather. About what? Richard looked up. He wanted to shut the company down. I begged him not to. Maya stared at him. Why? Because I had borrowed money from the company. The room went silent. Maya felt the pieces falling into place. Her father had not stolen from her grandfather. But he had hidden money problems. He had been afraid the truth would destroy the family. And James? Maya asked. Richard looked down. James arrived later. What happened? I left. Maya's face hardened. You left him there? I thought they were only going to argue. And Grandpa? Richard's voice broke. I never saw him alive again. Maya stood completely still. You knew. Richard nodded. You knew James was involved. I suspected. And you said nothing. I was scared. Maya shook her head. You were scared, so you let everyone believe Grandpa died because his business failed? Richard began crying. I was ashamed. Maya looked away. For years her father had called her a failure. Yet he had spent decades hiding his own mistakes. He finally understood something. Her father had not hated her because she failed. He had hated the reminder of his own failure. Maya took a slow breath. What happened to the missing records? Richard looked at her. James took them. And the missing page? I thought it was destroyed. It wasn't. Richard shook his head. No. Maya looked at the phone. The truth had finally come out. But she was not finished. Her supervisor called. Maya. Yes. We found the third man. Who? He is in custody. Maya waited. He gave us a statement. What did he say? He says James planned everything. Maya's eyes narrowed. What about my father? He says Richard never helped James. Richard closed his eyes. Maya felt a strange sense of relief. Her father had lied. But he had not been the criminal everyone thought he was. Her supervisor continued. There is one more thing. What? James admitted he posted the video. Maya froze. He did. Yes. Why? He wanted to expose your identity. Maya understood. James had seen the video. He had recognized Maya's client. He knew her job. He wanted to force her into the open. But there was another question. Why did he target my family? Her supervisor answered. Because he believed your grandfather left evidence with you. Maya frowned. I never had anything. He thought you did. Maya looked toward the old letter. Then she remembered something. Her grandfather's handwriting. The words. If the records are ever discovered, do not trust anyone who suddenly wants them. Maya looked at her father. Dad. Richard looked up. What? Did Grandpa ever give you something for her? Richard hesitated. Then he remembered. There was a box. What box? Your grandfather gave it to me shortly before he died. Where is it? Richard stood. He walked toward the basement door. Maya followed. They went downstairs. Richard opened an old cabinet. Behind several boxes was a small metal case. He pulled it out. Maya looked at it. Why did you keep this? I couldn't destroy it. He handed her the key. Maya opened the case. Inside was a small notebook, several photographs, and one sealed envelope. Her name was written on it. Maya Carter. She opened it. Inside was a letter from her grandfather. This one was longer. It explained everything. He had known James was stealing. He had also discovered that James was working with another person. But he had never learned the person's full identity. Until the night he died. The final name was written on the last line. Maya read it. Her face changed. It was not Richard. It was not James. It was someone nobody had suspected. Someone who had remained close to the family for years. Maya looked at her father. Who is this? Richard stared at the name. Then his face went white. I know him. Maya nodded. So do I. It was the family lawyer. The same lawyer who had told everyone that her grandfather's company had collapsed because of money problems. The same lawyer who had handled the estate. The same lawyer who had told Maya there was nothing left for her. Maya immediately called her supervisor. We have another name. 3 months later, the truth was finally public. James confessed. The lawyer was arrested. The old financial records proved that millions had been stolen from Maya's grandfather's company. Richard cooperated with investigators. He admitted his mistakes. But he was not charged with the crimes James and the lawyer had committed. The family learned the full truth. And so did everyone who had laughed at Maya. The viral video that had started everything was still online. But its meaning had completely changed. People no longer laughed at Maya. They were talking about her courage. Her work. her leadership, her role in protecting people. The company later confirmed her position publicly. Maya was not simply a security guard. She was the director of executive protection. She led professional teams. She trained senior officers. She had protected major clients for years. And she had done it quietly. The people who had called her a failure suddenly wanted to know her. Old relatives began sending messages. People who had ignored her wanted to congratulate her. Daniel apologized again. This time Maya accepted. But she told him something simple. Respect shouldn't begin after people discover your title. Daniel nodded. He understood. 6 months later, Maya stood on a stage at a company awards ceremony. Her name was announced. The room erupted in applause. She received the company's highest leadership award. Her parents were sitting in the front row. Richard stood first. Susan stood beside him. They applauded harder than anyone. Maya looked at them. For years she had imagined this moment. She had imagined proving them wrong. She had imagined her father finally saying, "I was wrong about you." But now that the moment had arrived, she felt something unexpected. Nothing. No anger. No desire to punish them. Just peace. After the ceremony, Richard approached her. "I am proud of you." Maya smiled. "Thank you." He looked down. "I should have said that years ago." "Yes." He nodded. "I was wrong." "I know." Richard looked at her. "Can you forgive me?" Maya took a moment. "I can forgive you." His eyes filled with tears. "But things will not go back to the way they were." Richard nodded. "I understand." Maya hugged her mother. Then she stepped away. She had finally learned that forgiveness did not mean forgetting. And success did not mean proving everyone wrong. Sometimes revenge was simply walking away from the people who made you feel small. A week later, Maya received a package. There was no return address. Inside was an old photograph. It showed her grandfather standing outside his company. Beside him was a young man Maya had never seen before. She turned the photograph over. There was one sentence written on the back. "Your grandfather never told you the whole story." Maya stared at it. For a moment she wondered if the past was coming back again. Then she noticed something. The photograph was dated 2 days before her grandfather died. And the young man standing beside him looked strangely familiar. Maya turned the photograph toward the light. Her eyes widened. She knew that face. It was the same face she had seen in one of the old security files. The man was not a stranger. He was someone who had been working with her grandfather before the company collapsed. And according to the records, he had died 20 years ago. Maya slowly put the photograph down. Her phone rang. Her supervisor was calling. She answered. "Maya?" "Yes. We found something unusual in the old files." "What?" "There is a second company connected to your grandfather." Maya stared at the photograph. "Where?" "Overseas." "Who owns it?" Her supervisor paused. "We don't know yet." Maya looked at the mysterious photograph again. Then he added, "But the company is still active." Maya said nothing. The family had spent years thinking her grandfather's story was over. It wasn't. The revenge had ended. The truth had finally come out. But somewhere in the world, another chapter of the Carter family story was still waiting. And this time Maya was ready for it.